The following Earth Angel Media presentation is brought to you commercial-free as a gratuity from the sponsor producer named after the show. Please consider their message. Find other high-value shows listed at earthangelproject.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Soul Decodes. Join us as we wander off the path to find the ideas that fascinate. We talk about spirituality, the mind, the ego, wellness, and hidden history with tips, travels, and tales. Charms for a better life.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Dr. Jolie Phillips. You're listening to Soul Decodes, episode 67. I hope you're having a great day. I'm in the Treehouse studio with Tirri.
Hi, everyone.
It's been a while since we talked because we've had multiple episodes with guests. What's your take on having all these guests?
I think it's lovely. I think people are very, very interesting, and everyone's got a story to tell. And Carlos Solis, I'm reading his book at the moment, which is really interesting. He has a colourful life, and he's a testament to success, and has a lovely family, and we've met his family as well, two of his children. So yeah, enjoying Carlos's book and listening to his music. He was interesting, and so were his kids, and so was Jim in the beginning. And then we had David on the healer. That was a great one. I really enjoyed that.
So what's interesting is I've got so many people that are starting to listen to these guests, and they want to be guests.
Good.
I was at a meeting
Bring them on.
I was at a meeting last night. It was a women's networking group, and I had a couple people at the networking group find out we have a podcast, and they're like, hey, I want to be a guest.
Yeah.
I think the thing is there's, we probably should talk about this because everybody's got a story. So we could have 7.5 billion guests.
Yeah, potentially.
But
yeah. Well, Soul Decodes is so encompassing. I mean, if you're a soul, and that's what we're decoding, what it means to be a human being on this planet, then every guest is relevant to that project. It's not like, well, podcast is interstellar physics or something. It's a very narrow band of people. It is anyone, and everyone is interested. Everyone's got a story, and on a podcast, they're willing to share. Look, a lot of people are very private and don't want to do that. So, I think that if you want to be a guest and you're interesting, and you've got to have a bit of confidence, I would say, haven't you? You've got
and I was going to say, how do we? Because there's people who have stories, but they've not done anything with their story. Like it's their story, but there's not been a transfer. They're just telling something historical, and they've not made a transference into what does this mean to me? What does this mean to the future? And how can somebody benefit? So I'm thinking, well, it's neat to have somebody with a story, but with our guests, it's neat because they're actually taking it and transferring their story into lessons learned, and then something that they can project to our guests. Maybe save them some hassle or energy.
Yes, give them some advice.
So
cautionary tale, maybe.
So when I talk to these people, like one of the girls last night, sweet girl, but she hasn't really gone through she hasn't really taken her story.
Well, what she's probably done is sat down with a friend and talked about her story. She's probably already done that, but she hasn't formatted in a way which is going to align with something bigger. But she's definitely talked to people about her life.
Right. So
and
what I'm saying
is,
I want to have guests that where they've experienced these things, then they've gone through the mental processing of what that meant to them. What's the takeaway with the story, and how can we present that to the world? Because I think the girl last night, she was sweet and adorable, but she's still kind of she hasn't really said, well, what does that mean to me?
She hasn't processed it.
She hasn't really processed it. So I want them to kind of put them in the crock pot.
Well, we could guide them through that. I mean, that would just be something which could be quite instant. I mean, that's the premise of the show. We are decoding the soul. So they will know the premise of the show when they come on.
That would be fascinating because I'm not sure, and here we are trying we're doing our game plan in real time. By the way, for those of you listening the first time after 67 episodes, everything we do is unscripted. Yeah. We literally turn on the mics and say, okay, what are we talking about today? But this is important because if we're going to have guests, first of all, we value all of our guests, but we also want to make it interesting to listeners. Mm-hmm. So we should probably determine how do we?
Well, the ayahuasca was an interesting subject.
I know that
was really, really.
Well, you
good.
were riveted.
I think it's.
You're ready to run out and do.
Well, I've already got the name of the lady that Mike put me in touch with, and she's having a ceremony. I think it's called. I think it's in March. So that gives me enough time to pray over it.
You break the code. So anyway, the bottom line about the guests is I've enjoyed it. I did miss. I'm going to be honest. I missed my time with you.
Yeah.
I think that guests
flip it back and forward. Just
yeah,
do
so
what we want when we want. It's our bloody show.
It's our bloody show. That's what I always say. It's my bloody show.
That's the reason we're doing this.
So okay. So you got some things. Obviously, it's been probably a month.
Yeah.
Since we talked about different things you're working on. Mm-hmm. What's at the forefront with you now? So
I've published the doctrine. That's available on Amazon, and you've put the ebook, and that's available on Soul Decodes website. That's the ebook it's called A New Religion, and it's the doctrine of this church that I'm building. So any listeners who are interested in that, just go to Soul Decodes and
and I'll have it in a few different places. The information you gave me will be downloadable straight from the site, but then also the information will be in the show notes. I'm probably going to put a link in the channel, like at the menu level too. So
nice.
There'll be a bunch of ways where people can find it. But what's the name of it so they can look for it?
Okay, so the book that you can download for free is called A New Religion by Tirri. And that's what I have been working on, and it's a doctrine. And I'm busy putting that in audio format. I did promise the listeners a few weeks ago that it would be ready, but I'm delayed on that. But that is in the pipeline. I'm getting my voice cloned, so I can spew these out a little quicker than I have been able to.
As the show gains traction, they're going to do like adult diaper commercials in your voice because it's gonna be out there. It's like,
well, I hope it's something exciting. Sam Harris, who's one of my favourite philosophers, they've cloned his voice and they're selling brain enhancement vitamins, and he's now having to do damage control because they're banking out of that. These people are making a lot of money. They've used his voice. He's a neuroscientist and a philosopher, so they've tapped what they think would be plausible, cloned his voice, and someone's been making a lot of money over.
I've seen people
brain
do that.
enhancement.
Well, I've seen people do that with like Joe Rogan's voice, and he's sitting there talking about something that I absolutely know is not Joe Rogan, and that it's his voice. And so, people are cloning voices.
Yeah. I think, to me, it's scary. It's a wild, wild west, but it's also fantastic what we're able to do and how quickly you can get things done with AI. And I'm working on a study guide to the doctrine now, and I'm working on a devotional. And I have 30 books that I'm going to be publishing through AI and through cloning my voice. And I understand that that voice could be cloned. We're not even going to know. It's going to be like the Sneetches. That Dr. Seuss, he wrote this book called The Sneetches, and they had stars on their bellies and some didn't. And at the end of it, no one knew what reality was at all. You got a star. She just flashed her piercing.
I don't have a star. I want a star. I'm going to have to get a piercing that's a star now.
But we're not going to know. And I don't know how we deal with that, and nor do we. This is a science experiment. We're not going to know what reality is, whose voice is authentic. And I don't know how it could be governed or authenticated.
Okay, wow. This is really amazing because we can go in so many directions. First of all, we can go in the intellectual property direction. Like, who owns the knowledge and information? Who owns it? Do you own yourself? Do
I own my own clone?
What do you own? What is it that you actually own? And what right do you have to what you think you own?
Well, I own my books, but I've allowed people to quote freely from them. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming they're mine. They're copyrighted in my name. Mm-hmm. But someone could steal that and publish it and then put it through AI and produce something else.
Well, I see this on...
nothing's sacred anymore.
Well, when everyone was squeezed off of YouTube, because people like me were censored because we're talking about like...
shit they didn't want anyone else knowing about.
Everything that you're not allowed to, like how vaccines could kill you and stuff like that. So those things were censored pretty heavily, and how, there's actually things in nature that can help you feel better, believe it or not. Mm. So all of those things got really censored down, and I was squeezed out. So we found these alternative things like Rumble. Rumble's an alternative channel. There's BitChute, and there's some different ways you can publish, but they weren't as popular as YouTube. So what people started doing on Rumble is they take the most popular channels. Let's say there's some people that are talking about some really cool popular things. They would take their entire thing and put it on their own channel so they can monetize somebody else's work on their channel.
They've just stolen it.
They just unapologetically.
Yeah. It's not even plagiarism.
It's not even
You're just stolen it and reproducing it.
It's like somebody taking our entire show and putting it on their channel, not even calling it their own. They're treating it, and then all of the commercials and all of the commercials, everything that comes from it, they benefit. So if they put it on Rumble and Rumble shows 14 commercials during the show, those people are getting the coin for those 14 commercials.
So how do you put a stop to it? Have you got that far with it? How do we govern this? Or do we it's just inevitable and then we have to fight our way through it?
Well, I think...
Because technically anyone can steal anything. I mean, you can copyright something, but that's only good if you can prosecute the person who's stolen it. Right?
Yeah, you can make a law, but
useless.
It's like...
How do you enforce it?
The law says you have to stop at this yield sign. Okay, that's... My mom was notorious for that. We'd be walking downtown Detroit and she'd just go... she'd like step out of off the sidewalk onto the street on the crosswalk. And I'd grab her. I was like, what are you doing? Because there's like a car coming. She's like, it's a crosswalk. They need to stop. I'm like, okay, you get to be wrong on that one time.
Yeah.
You get to be wrong on that one time. So let's just pretend like the crosswalk's not there.
And you're telling her this. Is she listening to you?
No, my mom didn't listen. She's like, well, they're supposed to yield. I'm like, okay.
My father-in-law used to say a speed limit was just an advisory and he just do what he wants anyway.
Speed limit's an advisory, yeah.
Exactly.
In fact, I was talking to someone this week and I told her straight up, I said, I cannot, in my 60-plus years, think of one rule ever that I followed exactly.
No, I don't think I have.
Like, I can't think of one rule I followed exactly.
Okay, if any listeners are out there and you've followed one rule exactly, I want to hear it.
Yeah,
I just don't think any human being has. Nobody has.
Yeah, you never
I don't care. You have to be a saint.
Cheated on your income tax. First of all, income taxes you deserve. Don't even file. You don't have to cheat on your income taxes. Just don't file.
And what will happen if you don't file? They're going to put a lien on your house.
Well, we'll talk about that another time. Yeah, that's another show.
I don't recommend that.
Well, I do recommend that. So you
probably researched it more than me.
But the point is, okay, look, all laws, all rules, I just think are suggestions. Some of them are really good ideas. It's probably a good idea to pay your taxes if you want to keep your house, because otherwise somebody's going to show up with a gun and they're going to take your house. That's just the way it is. Behind every law, there's a gun.
Really, yeah.
Name one.
You need to have that printed in a T-shirt, on a T-shirt.
It's like a libertarian type.
That's good.
Wherever there's a law, there's a gun behind it.
Yeah, the enforcement.
Yeah, which means it's not voluntary, which means the whole system's broken because we secretly vote for these people that make laws.
Well, let's trace this back to someone is now able to steal content. We can steal anyone's content. We can't enforce that.
Right. So here's this is a good conversation because remember I was talking about...
It kind of leads into this as well, which is really interesting.
Yeah, that's so cool because like Web3, like I bought 2 domains. They're not built out yet, but one's Web3 Podcasting.com. I got another one, Web3 Screens. So that's going to be like screens, like, computer screens, TV screens. And that'll be basically, it's going to be white labeling for people that want to have their own broadcast platforms.
Wow.
So what's going to happen there is, the reason that people steal content is because they can monetize it.
Yes.
If they couldn't create money from it, then they would have no incentive to steal it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter if they stole the content because if they can't make money with it, it's not a big deal. Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to have a platform that Sarah puts out a book or a show or a TV or whatever you produce that's yours, and it's protected by AI agents and firewalls. So basically the AI agents your data, whatever you put on your server, your personal server, whether it's photography or artwork or whatever you create remains yours. And this is where I'm taking all of my Web3 projects.
But how can you stop the theft of it?
Well,
so for my ebook example,
okay, let's just
take that ebook that you're going to put, the one that I'm giving away to the listeners.
Right.
They could just cut and paste that, just put it in a Word document, and then have AI read it out, and then could turn it into anything they wanted. I mean, I could do it.
And that's correct.
Yeah.
They can totally do that. But the truth is, your AI right now is already doing that. Right now, if you talk to ChatGPT, it's going to all of the information all over the internet, everywhere, whether or not it's copyrighted. It doesn't care. It's going to go and read their stuff, chop their stuff up, put it into an algorithm, make sense of it, because AI is not intelligent. It just rips everything off from everybody, steals, and then it predicts what it thinks you need next. If you ask it something, it's going to go to all of these, every website, everywhere, steal whatever it can, aggregate it, compress it, condense it, and present it to you in some format.
So does ChatGPT have access to the content of my book, Is This the Best God Could Do? That's been published for many years.
Unless you protect it, it's got complete access.
Yeah, isn't that so? It's nothing I'm going to worry about then. I mean, this is we've lost control of this, and now we have to adjust.
Yeah, so the thing is it's not going to be so much about content. It's going to be about bringing value to the user. So here's an example. Right now, if you produce a show and you put it on YouTube, YouTube's going to take your show and they're going to create money from it. They're going to do advertising. They're going to do all sorts of different ways.
And if it gets big, they're also going to pay me money, right? If you have, I don't know what the numbers are, like over 100,000, that's very, very good if you have a podcast.
Yeah, and they're going to give
you're going to get money too.
You're going to get a few pennies. They're going to keep most everything for themselves, and you're going to keep a few pennies.
So Jordan Peterson has 8 million people following his YouTube channel, and he puts content on there, all his podcasts. He's got to be banking at 8 million.
Well, you'd like to think that, but the thing is, if Jordan Peterson or people like him, say the next Joe Rogan, right? If the next Joe Rogan wants to really protect their content and bank on it, they would do something like put it on Web3 podcasting, have their content protected. And then the novelty about Web3 podcasting and Web3 radio network is that people are not going to be subjected to advertising. They're not going to be subjected to subscription services.
But they will pay a small amount
they'll
for
just
a bit
pay
of
like
content.
a penny. So like we talked about before, let's just say this show is 100 minutes. Well, if somebody's going to listen to 100 minutes and pay a penny per minute, that would be $1. So if a listener wanted to hear this show, I'm not saying that's what this would cost, just for numbers.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
If a listener wanted to hear, say they're going to work and from work and they want to hear the whole show, they would say, this is a good show, I want to pay $1 for it. I
don't know whether I have the faith in human nature that you do. I think they'd be willing to listen to a few commercials and not have to have a paywall at all to go through. They don't want to put a debit card in. They don't want to pay for anything. Everything seems to have to be free. Jordan Peterson, he puts all his shows on for free onto YouTube. Joe Rogan, you don't pay for. So suddenly putting a paywall up, even if it is pennies, do you think people are going to go for that?
They're already doing this. See, everyone's got a certain pain point. There's really two parties. There's the person producing the content.
It's not about the money. It's about linking their financial account up with as the method of payment. People don't like to give that information. That's to be why they would want it free. One of the reasons in my children's writing contest, I was going to do $5 to enter, and I thought that would be okay because that would cover costs. And I decided not to do that because I knew that would put a lot of people off from entering it. So I just left a paywall down.
Yeah, so you're thinking in terms of money, but what if they're not putting their bank statement or their credit card? What if they're not doing any of that? What if participating in Web3 fundraising is all about tokens? What if there's
So you're creating a new format.
So you can do it completely. Like if you don't want to do money, you can actually do tokens.
Yeah.
And then, so let's extend this out. Let's just say that somebody wants to interact with Web3 fundraising and maybe take an upgrade to their service or something. Everything, those upgrades could not be a function of US dollars or, ruples or whatever your currency is. It could just be within the context of the economy, the Web3 economy. So in other words, there's going to be a time, and it's really imminent, where like all of the stores of value, whether it's gold that's in your 401k, or whether it's your crypto holdings, or whether it's your bank account, those will all be separate silos, but they'll be aware of each other. They'll be connected. So in other words, here's a scenario that's coming up shortly. There's already legislation in progress. Let's just pretend that I was an early adopter for Bitcoin.
Right. I wish I had been.
I know, right? Everybody does. Well, it's down to only 91,000 this morning, so you can get some. But like I have friends that banked on Bitcoin. They bought oceanfront property from their Bitcoin. Like the whole thing. Like
good for them.
Ocean, Portugal, condominium and everything. It's like, yeah. So I've got those people.
Yeah. Good for them for taking the risk, just taking the gamble, not even a risk. We had a friend and we opened up a business, and he said, you don't want to open up this business. And this was hundreds of thousands we lost in this business. And he said, no, you want to buy Bitcoin. And my son and I are now like, holy shit, we should have listened to Jack. So Jack, if you're listening to this, thanks for the Bitcoin. You were right. You were right, son.
You're right. I was wrong. So let's just pretend that I've got a wallet and this Bitcoin's got, let's just pretend it's got $10 million in it, right? So I've got, my wallet's got $10 million. Now I want to go buy a little shack on the beach so I can go surfing sometimes, right? Land my helicopter and go surfing and then come home for lunch, right? But that's going to cost, that little shack on the beach is going to cost me $500,000. It's a shack, so no bank's going to loan against it. It's just a freaking shack. All right. A place where I can go use the restroom, take a nap, and come home. Right. No bank's going to loan against it. If I do, there's going to be all sorts of hell to pay, and they're going to want this. God, it's just it's a complete chaos. But in the meantime, I've got $10 million here, but I need $250,000. All right. So the new system is going to permit me to be my own bank and to take my mortgage against my crypto holdings. So I can point to my $10 million of crypto holdings. Collateral. There's my collateral. Smart contract will take against the 10 million. It'll bracket off. It'll protect the amount that I owe against that.
Right. Put a lien on itself.
Put a lien against itself. And then I'll pay myself back. So I'll be the bank.
It sounds so logical. And so is this the way of the future, and everyone's going to agree to this, and then we're going to be able to finance our own stuff?
Not only can I finance my stuff, but you might say, well, Jolie, I didn't adopt Bitcoin. I have zero Bitcoin. I have zero assets. And I'll say, well, I'll be your bank. Let me carve out $250,000. I'll make a smart contract. You can just borrow against my cryptocurrency. You don't have to go to the bank. I'll be your bank. Yeah. And
so each individual can become a banker.
All of us.
I mean, it's total autonomy.
Which is what we should have. So as we, the people, individuals.
Cutting out everything.
So what about this property? Like right now, let's just say I got, say I have 500,000 equity in this property. I can go to the bank and get a HELOC and show them my driver's license, show them, my medical records, whatever. They're going to just be completely invasive.
Yes.
The results from a colonoscopy, whatever, whatever they want to do, they're going to do it. And then, you're going to beg, and then for the benefit, you're going to pay 9% or some stupid number, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I should just be able to say, I can tokenize my entire property. The property is worth, say it's for numbers, say it's worth $1 million. I owe $500,000, so I have to protect that. It's like, okay, I still have a mortgage for $500,000, but there's $500,000 here.
Of equity.
that smart contract should say, okay, I'm going to take a loan against my own equity. There should be a note that goes to the title company, which all of the titles will be tokenized too.
But if you were to, if that money was to buy the shack and you defaulted, then what happens? You'd have to sell your property to get the money out. The Bitcoin I get because that's instant, right? You could sell that in a moment.
Right. Well, what it amounts to is it's the same thing as if, first of all, when you go to the bank, is there any money against that?
No.
The bank does not have the money.
No.
This is the number one scam with the mortgages. And I'm telling you, I used to be a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
It used to make me crazy that first of all, you're loaning me money that you don't have, and then you're charging me interest. That was freaking, I couldn't believe that. But what you're telling me is that you're loaning me money, which is a lie. You're not loaning me money. It's digits on a piece of paper.
They're going to be transferred, and that's, yeah.
But I'm creating a debt instrument, debt, D-E-B-T, debt, not dead. They're the same, debt or debt, same thing. But I'm creating debt, and the bank's going to take that debt, and then they're going to leverage that debt. 9 to 1. They're going to, for every piece of debt they have, they can create money from that debt, and then the money they can create, they can loan out and create more debt. It's just, it's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
And it's coming down.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, but I've also, they've got a debt instrument, and then I have a promissory note. So they're getting both from me, a debt instrument and a promissory note, because I'm signing a promise to repay. They can collateralize that too. So they're double dipping against me, and then they're getting 10 times the payout on each of those.
And so why have we been dealing with this for so long if it's so horrendous? Because people haven't given it as much thought as you, I guess, right? So we just take this and we just get our mortgages and we just sign on the dotted line and just agree and bow our heads.
So here's the thing. What happens is, let's just say I take $250,000 out of my equity in my house. Okay. That's actually going to show as a lien against the title of this house. So it shows up as a second position lien if I take it against my current home.
Yeah.
So I have a second position lien. So it's basically a HELOC, but I'm funding it myself. But it's being recorded as a lien against the home. So I'm the bank for myself, but I'm just cutting out the middleman, which is the banker. Yeah. So if I default on that mortgage, it's a default against myself.
It's kind of spiritual in a way, because what I want to talk about here deals with that we have access to the divine, straight to the divine, and we don't need the intermediaries that we once did or we thought we did to access the divine. And that's kind of what you're saying. The intermediaries are going to be gone, and you've now got direct access. So whether it's divine or your money, it's just cutting out anything that blocks that.
I had no idea we were going to go here, but cutting out the middle people is that's what I do in business. The affiliate programs, they cut out the brick and mortar. Like, almost every company's got an affiliate program or a brand partner program. They cut out the middlemen. In terms of health and wellness, people always say, well, Tirri, you're a plant-based eater. Where do you get your protein? Well, I get my protein from the same sources your protein sources get their protein. It's like, the cow is
such a good one-liner. If you that's great. You've got it rehearsed, and it is.
The cow is a middleman. The cow is a middleman. All the cow's doing is eating protein and configuring it into protein. Then if I eat,
we're not eating its shit though. We're eating its flesh.
But if I eat the muscle from the cow, I'm getting the fat too. But if I eat the muscle, my body doesn't take that muscle and make my muscle. It breaks it down to amino acids. So I just return it back to what the plant gave me in the first place.
Yeah, that's so funny.
So there's a middleman, but it's so inefficient.
Yeah. So that's the new era, just cutting out.
If you just cut out the middleman,
everywhere you look,
and the same thing like with Web3, all we're doing is cutting out the middleman. I used this example yesterday at the networking meeting, the Million Cups. I said, why? Because people are saying, well, why are you always talking about Web3? Well, Sarah, if I go to, like, you brought me these beautiful orchids just now, right? Thank you. Thank you for the orchids and the vegan cookies. But
Cookie Monster.
If you took your credit card and you swiped it and you bought those, you probably paid cash. But let's just say it was...
No, I did my card.
Okay, so you swiped the credit card and let's just say it was a $10 purchase or something. It was probably more because they're beautiful, but let's just say
I stole them actually.
Yeah. You bought a stick of gum.
I ran in and I ran out.
You swiped it for a stick of gum and ran out with the orchid. So, but let's just pretend that you've got this, you buy something for $10. Visa or MasterCard's going to charge like 3%, right? Yeah. 2 or 3%. I don't know the numbers. So let's just say 3%. So you charge $10. What's 3% of $10? Well, 30 cents, right? Mm-hmm. So 30 cents, did they make the orchids more beautiful? Did they make the cookies tastier?
They provided the atmosphere, the store where they are, the electricity, their labor.
They didn't do anything.
Well, they provided the facility where I bought them.
No, I'm talking about MasterCard.
Oh, MasterCard, not Publix. Okay, no, right. Okay, MasterCard.
MasterCard.
What did they allow? They allowed me to borrow money from them that I'm going to return to them every month if it's on a credit card.
With interest.
With interest.
But forget the interest.
So that's what they've done.
They immediately took 3%.
Mm-hmm. So, for the convenience of having this. That's what I was always brainwashed to think. Yeah. There's a convenience and I'm going to pay 3% every time I use this.
Okay, so
I never thought that was unreasonable, though.
Yeah, so look at the competition now. The next version of the credit card is not going to be 2 or 3%. It's going to be 1/10 of a penny.
Yeah.
So if I go, like when you pulled up, you saw the Cadillac in the driveway. That's a loaner. My Cadillac's into work. For some maintenance. Mm-hmm. So if I were to buy a Cadillac with a credit card, can you imagine what 2 or 3% would be?
Yeah.
It would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But in the future, I swipe my credit card, it'll be 1/10 of a penny for the transaction. The cost of the transaction is the same, whether it's a flat screen TV or a
$100,000 Cadillac.
A drum set or what, a $100,000 car. Doesn't matter. The transaction's the same, so why would you skim 2 or 3%?
Because they've been able to get away with it, and now they're being busted, aren't they?
So now there's we the people coming up and saying, no, I can...
And the technology.
Technology, it doesn't cost you 3%. Like the transaction doesn't care how many digits were in the transaction, whether it's 10 cents, $10 or $10,000.
Yes, that's irrelevant.
It's not relevant. It's a fee. It's a transaction fee, so just pay a flat rate. 1/10, even if it's a dime. But the next iteration,
so the cost is coming down. And
it's going to be 1/10 of a penny
anymore.
So now this is going to benefit all the small business owners, anybody that transacts business online. This is going to be a more efficient way to do worldwide transactions.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to do worldwide transactions.
And you're pioneering this. You're doing what you can to bring this to fruition. That's what you talk about. Well, what you're creating.
I've always told you that blessed are the geek.
Yes, for they shall inherit the earth.
Yeah. So right now the geek are inheriting the earth, right?
Good.
And so what's happening is the technologies are coming into place so that those of us who are with eyes to see and ears to hear can see what's happening, and we can get ahead of that wave and capitalize on it.
Yeah.
So, but the bottom line is, yes, we're cutting out the middlemen. We're making things more efficient. We're cutting out the corporations. We're cutting out the politicians. We're cutting out everybody.
Direct access.
So if Tirri and Sarah want to transact business, and you're on your trip, you're in Africa, you need $5,000, I can get on my phone, send you $5,000. You have it 3 seconds later. It's secure. It's safe. It's nobody else's business. It cost me a 1/10 of a penny.
Would the government say, because I'm not allowed to take any more than $10,000 pounds actually into England, right? So you just, I'm just going to send $1 million if I want to. There's no governing that.
Well, then
that'll piss a lot of people off.
And that's the whole point. This will be a different show, but all governments don't have the moral authority to govern. Mm-hmm. They just don't have the moral authority. Yeah. And you say, well, there was elections. We'll get into all of that. That'll be a different show. But essentially, yes, we're cutting out the middleman. But you have this piece of paper in front of you, and you said that this plays into something you wanted to talk about.
So let me just find this. So I ran this through Desmond, and I wanted to talk about the suppression of knowledge. Has it been suppressed, or was it necessarily suppressed? Okay, so I'm going to start. So I want to ask, just give me your quick one-liner, or we can just go on to the next one.
Ooh, careful what you ask for.
So has humanity been deliberately cut off from its own divinity?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
These are your questions, or
no? These are Desmond's.
These are Desmond's. Okay.
Yeah, but
what was the prompt? What did you ask?
Okay, so this was the prompt. Okay, has knowledge been suppressed? Okay, because someone wanted to maintain control of our consciousness in order to further and feather their own nest.
That's a good question.
Or was it necessarily suppressed? Okay, so
answer that,
and I'm going to find. I just want to
go
to. I've got about 10 pages here. I want to just get Desmond's answer because that's what I want to run from. I should have done this before.
By the way, I looked at your book, and I love your little cartoon drawings and stuff. I thought you did a good job.
Which one? On the doctrine?
The PDF that you sent me? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
Yes, it was very easy to read.
For those of you who are listening, just go ahead and download this. It's simple to read. You can read it in just a little bit of time. Just grab a coffee and go through it. I find it to be very simple, very intuitive, but it's also such that you can read it through the first time and get certain things. But if you read it through a second and a third and a fourth time, then you're going to get different things.
Yes. Oh, so, sure. And I'm doing a study guide for that, which will be the accompany book. That's what I'm working on at the moment. So that now for each there's 66, I think there's 66 books, because I wanted to make it like the Bible, right? That was kind of what it was going to be, my own doctrine. I was going to have fun with it. And I was born in the year 1966.
You're such a geek.
But listen, this is what I wanted to get to. Mm-hmm. So I asked Desmond, could organized religion have been engineered or as a containment field for the divine, right? So he said it could have been installed after the fall, meant to prevent premature awakening of a species not yet emotionally ready for godhood. And I was like, holy shit, because I've always thought when I wrote Is This the Best God Could Do, I framed that whole book like this has been deliberately suppressed to someone else's advantage and to our detriment. I had never really considered, were we ready to accept the fact that our mind is creative within the quantum field? Maybe we wouldn't have been ready for that. So I'm weighing up whether this was suppressed. Christianity, has that religion suppressed us? Because I don't think it gives us the true premise of our existence at all. Was that deliberate or was it necessary?
These are really good questions. And I have complete lack of trust for anything that's presented to us as so-called history. I totally don't trust any history. I look at maps, from historical maps that show different continents, different fields, all sorts of different places, like even the North Pole. We're not allowed to fly over the North Pole right now.
Are we?
Oh yeah, no, you're not allowed. There's this. What
have they got going on there? What are they hiding there?
Well, if I could fly over it, I would tell you. But there's a black rock up there. When you look at the maps, there seems to be four rivers that flow from the black rock.
Oh God!
So there's a lot of stuff up there that, and
like
even
some Area 51 kind of spooky woo-woo.
Well, no,
shit,
this is just Gaia. This is just our natural place.
Oh, okay. So this is not some man hasn't installed something there that he wants to protect.
Well, I mean, maybe we have since then, but the natural thing, when we look at the world around us, there's so many unanswered things, like the mud floods, like history that's missing 1,000 years. There's 1,000 years of history that looks like it's missing. What happened to that? And there's forensics that show even the dates from old coins. There appears to be 1,000 years missing. When we look at the travels of Admiral Byrd, everyone talks about the D-Day, World War II D-Day, landing on Normandy. There's all of these things in history that are put in our face, and we just have to accept that as true. The second largest expeditionary force ever assembled was Admiral Byrd going to the Antarctic. Why does nobody talk about that?
I know. I never even heard of it.
It's called Operation High Jump.
God.
Operation High Jump. So we're always talking about D-Day, landing in Normandy. Hey, no disrespect to those individuals who bought the farce about World War II. World War II was an extension of World War I. It was all a control gambit. So this whole thing about not even having any information about Operation High Jump, Operation Mockingbird, which is 4 a.m., all of the news sources in the world get the talking points for the day. So that's why you can turn on Chicago news, Detroit news, LA news, New York. All the news used to get the same talking points. Mm-hmm. Because
is that still going on today?
No, we've taken over that.
Good.
That's why today you're getting all these different stories.
Yes.
It's like, wait a minute, because the mind control, the government control mind, that's being undone. But you can't do it quickly. You have to do it slowly.
Yeah, systematically.
If you wake them up quickly. So Operation Fishbowl, why in the 60s were they shooting nuclear weapons into the sky? Why were they detonating weapons into the sky? You have to study Operation Fishbowl for that.
But the answer is greed, isn't it? The answer is greed. Someone wants to suppress everyone else in order to profit from their lack of knowledge, their lack of autonomy.
This plays into what you're asking. Mm-hmm. It's like when you look back at history, you must question everything. Call out to actually, it was my guest on the first episode of Studio 17. Go to Real News and History, realnewsandhistory.com. And Mike does a great job. He actually takes historical things. There's also, you've listened to My Lunch Break. Mm-hmm. There was electric cars 150 years ago.
Yeah.
And you look at some of these freaking, there's people who were explorers and saw things in the Grand Canyon. And whenever there's something that you're not allowed to see because you're a slave and it's in the Grand Canyon, they just nationalize it and protect it with park rangers and weaponry.
Yeah, stop access.
And you can't go and see what's there. So why would I, if I was truly free, why would I not be able to get my rucksack, get my rappelling cord, get my tent, and go into the Grand Canyon and explore some of those caves? It's a national park. Why can't I go and do that? I can't do it. Why can't I go? What if I have a sailing boat and it's a beautiful ship, all sorts of accoutrements, all sorts of capabilities? If I were to go south of 60 degrees south latitude, so I'm going to go straight south, and I get past 60 degrees south latitude, why am I intercepted by international militaries? Why can't I go further than 60 degrees south? What's at the south, the so-called South Pole, why am I going to be turned around with weapons?
And what have you speculated?
Well, I mean, what we're being lied to about the shape and the nature of our existence here in this Earth space.
Right, so it's suppressing information. That's the root of it.
So, people say, well, you can't prove that. Well, excuse me, I'm trying to prove it. I'm trying to go south. I'm trying to get to the South Pole. I've got all my friends with me, and I'm trying to prove it because you're not believing me, and you're meeting me with weaponry and then blaming me for not being able to prove it when I'm trying to prove it.
Yeah, quite.
So be quiet and go away or help me get there.
Yeah.
Same thing with the North Pole. If I want to go to the North Pole and stand on the North Pole, you can't do it. You're not allowed to do it. You'll be turned around. They won't let you there.
And what are they hiding? What is that?
But it doesn't matter.
It matters to me because I'm curious.
Well, be curious because we have to ask better questions. So what I'm sharing is this in a nutshell. History is his story. Who's his? It's the people that are making the stories. Mm-hmm. And the stories we've been told. Like, I know I'm not going to go into this thing about the Holocaust, okay? But the 6 million Jews that supposedly died, they were being reported on way before World War II. Decades before, they were talking about 6 million Jews, 6 million Jews, 6 million. So that you can go back and look at the history. And if you do the mathematics based on, if you took the square miles, how many acres
of the concentration
camp, you did that, and you said, okay, here's the square footage, here's the area, here's the chambers that they used. And this is how many people had to go through every single minute.
For as long as the duration.
For those couple years to kill and get rid of the carcasses and get rid of 6 million Jews. It doesn't add up. It's physically, even by today's standards, you cannot process that many in that small amount of area.
And so why, I don't know, I've never considered this. I love
that you're asking questions.
So what is the motive behind telling us it was 6 million and it wasn't, it was 2 million? What would be the motive for us?
I just love that you're asking questions.
But you're never able you like the fact that I ask questions, but you're not able to ever give me a satisfactory answer with regards to...
I'm giving you a satisfactory answer.
What's the satisfactory answer with motive? So who would be motivated?
Sarah, we do this all the time. I don't need to know the motive.
You just know it's wrong.
I'm looking back at history and it's bullcrap. It's bullcrap. Look, we've talked about the lost gospels.
Yeah, that's in here today.
Okay, well, you got it on your sheet. There's freaking hundreds of lost gospels. Why are we only allowed to read 4 of them, and those 4 have been massively manipulated?
I actually get why the suppression of information has taken place in Christianity, because keeping us in a certain level and us not understanding our own divinity has benefited them. With the whole thing about the Second World War and the Holocaust, you've got 6 million people. I've always thought it was 6 million. I thought Stalin killed 5 million. Chairman Mao apparently did 8 million starved. I mean, what are all these big numbers? What is it trying to do to our psyche? Make us feel guilty? Or why are we supposed to believe that? Because then that's going to do what in terms of our perception? I mean, it's some fucking mind game.
Well, you're right on track. For those of you Christians who are listening, and it's like, oh, Tirri is one of those people. Listen, do yourself a favor if you're a Christian. Go and read the Scofield Bible, or the Scofield, I think it's called the Scofield Bible. But basically, the scriptures as you know it, you've been taught and brainwashed how to interpret scriptures with a bias towards the state of Israel. If you're a Jew and you're an ancient Jew, your religion has been hijacked and you don't even know it. Your religion is hijacked. By the way, Christians, your religion is hijacked too by the Jesuits. It's a different thing, same thing but different. The point is, yes, it's manipulation of your mind. It's manipulation of your consciousness. I mean, if you want to really look at it, look at The Truman Show. Have you ever watched The Truman Show? Say no more. We have to control how they think in order to control the outcome. But what if...
But now that's all changing because we have access to information that we didn't have access to before.
Correct.
So technology is going to revolutionize all this bullshit suppression.
Correct. So let's double back to now. What does this mean in terms of ChatGPT going across all of these places everywhere and stealing stuff and giving it to you? Is it immoral or is it
inevitable?
Is it imperative? Is it imperative? Whether it's immoral or not.
Well, if it was imperative, then it wouldn't be stealing, would it? It's like a redistribution of knowledge.
Or not only a redistribution, but what if it, okay, let's say this. The next thought that you have, did it come from your brain, or is your brain a transceiver? Does your brain receive information from the infinite?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did that thought that you just have, did it come from your brain, from within your cranium? Or did your brain...
Or did it come from some reservoir?
Or was this infinite reservoir of knowledge and information, and you had a dream or you had an ayahuasca trip or something, and you...
Downloaded.
You downloaded it. So all the synapses in your brain were just synchronized, just perfectly, and then you got this boom.
Yeah.
You heard this.
Yeah.
Well, if I had remember kids, we had transistor radios.
Yes.
And you just turn the channel and you just turn it and you go, oh, wait a minute, what's that? Oh, that's the ball game.
Yeah.
Or you can hear the cops.
Game.
Or you can hear the cops, right? So you're tuning your frequency. It doesn't mean that I'm transmitting the ball game. I'm not the cop transmitting over that frequency. I'm tuning into it. And so this is my working knowledge of the brain. It's you use your consciousness to say, it's my intention to do this or to learn this or to discover this. And you go to sleep or you change your meditative skills and you get into lucidity and your awareness. And then you take that and you say, okay, there's a pool of knowledge out there. I intend to tap it.
Well, ask and thou shalt receive. You call that in. We have free will, so it's not going to impose that on you, but you can draw that into you.
You pull that into you. So this is why I say, so take that with it. Take that and say, okay, if my brain is a transceiver, I can send and receive information, transceive. And the knowledge is infinite. Who owns it?
Yeah.
Who owns the infinite knowledge?
We all do.
We all do. So it's in the value.
So interesting.
The value that we bring, like this podcast, it's not about the recording of the podcast. It's about the information that we share. Because right now, my brain thinks it knows what it knows, but the next idea that you present to me and the next idea I present to you is going to fire a synapse that wasn't previously fired. And that's going to take me in a direction. That's the butterfly effect. It's going to take me in a direction. It's like, wait a minute, what if?
Yeah.
So now the whole idea of intellectual rights, oh, well, this is Joe Rogan's podcast. It's sinful. It's morally corrupt. Well, wait a minute. Where did the guest get the information? Where did Joe get the information? Did it come from their brain? Did they generate that? Or did they just pull it, sequester it, configure it, and present it? It could be both. So I don't know the answer.
No.
But with respect to history, to me, it's not relevant. The best thing we can people always say, if you don't know history, you're destined to
repeat it.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Look, you're going to repeat history that you're being taught.
Yes.
You're not going to repeat.
We haven't established what's accurate yet.
If they say, if you don't know history, you're destined to repeat it, and then they teach you
a certain version of it because they want to control your future behavior. Yeah. Well, the whole question is, what is history? We don't know what history is. And so we don't know anything about anything. And there's too many questions. And for you, it's not really relevant?
No. It's not relevant. So, because I don't trust any of it.
No.
The only thing I can trust right now is the fact that you and I
are sitting here in the studio.
Right here.
Yeah.
I can't trust the past, the future.
Yeah.
I can't trust.
Kind of liberating.
It's freeing. I can't trust that I go down to my computer and my bank account's even still there.
Yeah.
I trust nothing.
So how do you recommend the listeners sleep at night? Because I'm not bothered by anything. I really, very, very little bothers me. I don't allow it the airspace because I live in my bubble and I write and I do my stuff. Now, you seem very relaxed, very, very calm. How would you recommend someone deals with not being able to trust anything? Just live in your own bubble, and it's really just what your senses tell you.
The kingdom of God is within you. So trust yourself. Know thyself. Trust thyself. Be the light. Everything around you is subject to you. The world is not, you are not subject to the world.
No, well, we're projecting this, yeah.
The world is subject to you. About. Yeah, so this dovetails with all of your work. And so how do you sleep at night? Grandly.
Yeah, yes.
Grandly.
Just relax.
Just go in there.
Yeah. You can't control a load of stuff that you can't control, so don't give it any airtime.
Sleep is like my favorite freaking thing. Because I dive into it. I'm like, yes. This is about being passionate about life, and sleep is part of life. Yeah. And when you go into, to me, that the lucidity part of sleep, freaking amazing. You know what? I was going to ask you this. I don't really interpret my dreams a lot, and maybe somebody out there knows this, but I've had at least 2 or 3 dreams in the past 2 or 3 weeks.
The last one I tried to interpret was with the elephants. So.
Oh, this one's even.
Go on, tell me.
This one's freakier. This is freakier than the elephant dream I had. But
if I can't interpret it live on the show, I'm going to give it some thought and I'll hit you up later.
Just this one I had, this is like...
Now, these are vividly real.
No, this is like as real as me putting my foot in water. This is so cool because I was typically when I'm doing something in my dream, I'm helping somebody or rescuing somebody or I'm doing something beneficial to the world. That's just, for whatever reason, that's what I do. So in this one dream, I actually had to jump into some water that was kind of like risky. It was like shark invested type of water. But I had to do it. Mm-hmm. And I got in there and there was a bunch of dolphins that were communicating with me directly.
Did you understand them?
Yes. Totally. It was freaking, but there's no words.
No.
It was
weird language.
There were no words, no sounds. It just.
And what had they told you?
They told me, I got you.
Yeah, you're fine.
No,
chill out. You're good.
No, we got you. And the one actually put me on its nose and pushed me back to the shore after I had to grab something or I had to get somebody or something. I forget the details, but all I know is I was in there. I shouldn't have been in there, but I was there intentionally.
And you needed to be there.
And I needed to be in the water. And it was
dangerous.
It was a bad idea. It was dangerous. And these dolphins, and there wasn't a whole herd of them or flock or whatever. What's a dolphin? School?
Yeah.
Whatever,
so.
family, whatever they're called. There wasn't a whole bunch of them. There's just a couple. Maybe there was 3. But this one in particular was just telling me, I got you. And it literally put me on the front of its nose, like not on a point of it, but like above it.
Yeah.
And it pushed me over to the water.
Scooting you over.
It just put me back up on the shore.
Yeah. I would say that's absolutely obvious what this is about.
Well,
it's about
the thing is
faith and trust.
But that was the 3rd dolphin dream I've had in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's not about the dolphin though. It's about trusting and having faith, isn't it? That you're in.
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
You're in a perilous situation, and the dolphin is saying, "I got you." So that's the universe saying, "I've got you." And he helped transport. You got what you wanted, and you were fine. So it would be get rid of any fear that you might have about anything, whether it's subconscious, it could be, and just have total faith that you're going to be protected. That's what I would take.
I'm getting emotional with your interpretation because I see that. I mean, I feel that resonates with me, what you just said.
And it could be the subconscious fear because it's not something you're processing, but that's what it's saying to me. Not about the dolphin. It was just for you. And the fact that it's a few of them, that's really interesting because it's a theme, right? You're in a perilous situation because the other one, it was about elephants and alligators. It was a similar thing.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And we talked about Jumanji. I can't remember. It's probably about maybe like 10 episodes ago.
Yeah, about 10 episodes ago.
But it was very, very similar. So the universe has got you. Just eradicate any.
You know what?
fear
That's funny you say that because that's very parallel. Because in that one I had to go into this. I had to cross this alligator pond or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
And the elephants came out of nowhere.
Wow, you're right. That's almost exactly parallel.
So there's a theme.
Huh.
So faith over fear.
So what I'm going to say, you asked about sleep. You know, how do people sleep at night? Enjoy the ride. But enjoy the adventure.
The context of that question was, how do people sleep at night when they know that they can't trust a damn thing?
How do you know?
Well, then go into what the dream. Have faith. Just have faith. You don't need to know. It doesn't matter that you know. You can't trust anything. Your reality is your immediate life and the people you can affect around you. And have faith that everything is going to be okay. And don't over-process it and don't worry about it. We've been lied to, obviously.
It's such
people have agendas, and we just accept that.
Mm-hmm. It's such a beautiful way to live, too.
Yeah, right.
Where you just because I mean, there's been so many times in my life I literally did not know how I was going to pay the next bill. Like, I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. When I met Robin, I'm like, I'm going to be broke for the next 20 years, so don't marry me for my money because it's not there. And but it didn't matter.
There's that God always provides, right? You'll hear a Christian say that. I wouldn't use that language, but that always happens. You will get a provision, and you can look back in your life, but you can only see it in reverse. You can't maybe see it at the time. And
something else that's been interesting is the idea of manifesting. As soon as you take away the fear of what if this doesn't work, or what if it doesn't go as I wanted to, and all this. As soon as you just remove it and you just do what has to be done and just keep moving forward and just go, that's the faith walk right there. Yes. Because what's happening now, just in the past week, so many people there were key people that I needed for key things for some of my projects showed up. Yeah. Friday, I got a guy coming out here, he and his wife. If I could have scripted like the characteristics of what I needed for this particular thing to happen, they fit the bill perfectly. Now you could say, well,
it's been scripted in your mind.
Right.
That's where it all took place.
But the thing is, the way I met them was random.
Yes, we can't control that.
But the way
quantum field delivers that.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I could not have scripted it better myself, but for some reason, like even the words that this guy uses.
How are you in that moment? Because that's happened to me. You're like, I can't fucking believe this. This is unbelievable because it's so perfect for what you need.
You know what?
That is the gratitude.
I was just going to say that. This is so crazy because I get emotional. Like even now I'm getting emotional because...
but how is this possible?
It's like all I had to do was literally think of this.
Yes. Organize it in your mind, have an intention, and then it's manifesting.
And but my response is always gratitude. It's always gratitude.
Well, next week we're going to do a show about gratitude.
Are we really?
Yes. Well, we have to. Every Thanksgiving we're going to have to talk about gratitude. Okay. Well, we're going to be recapitulating some of the things we've said before, but I have some new things I want to talk about in terms of how spirituality is absolutely imperative that we are grateful, because that's what's getting reflected back. So I'll give you a couple of sermons on that next week. Yeah,
let's do that. I'm excited for next week because gratitude has become a major theme in my life.
Yes. And you can't get blasé about it.
Even when dirtbag things happen to me.
Yeah.
It's extreme gratitude.
You can say, what's the lesson in here?
Yeah, so we're gonna for that. That's cool. So let's not redo last year's episode, because for those of you prior to next week, if you want to listen to another episode, go back to last year's Thanksgiving and just listen to it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
we're talking about gift giving and stuff. So we don't need to rehash that too much. No. Maybe touch on some.
Let's talk about a deep dive into the spiritual implications of gratitude as it applies to manifesting.
Oh, love it.
All right, good.
What a great way. So, well, anyway, thanks for joining us on Soul Decodes.
Yeah.
This has been really good.
I missed you. It's lovely.
I missed you too. It's so crazy. But with so many cool things happening. We'll talk more next week. Pre-Thanksgiving, which is awesome. And then I want to just thank everybody. You know, our numbers continue to grow, and it's because you people are listening. Also, shout out to livepure.com /gateway. Y'all are doing great. This is a great sponsor. They're helping people. They just rolled out a new digestive enzyme that anybody that's going on cruises, anybody going into Thanksgiving and they know they're going to overdrink and overeat, these are like essential. It's essential. I got a guy that has a cruise business and huge cruise, like he sends thousands of people on cruises. I said, man, you need to know about this.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, just stick a bunch of these in your satchel before the cruise.
Yeah, put them on people's pillows.
Oh, what a great idea.
Yeah. Not a chocolate. What? This is your hangover medicine, your indulgence medicine.
Okay, if any of you know any, like, cruise company directors, executives, I'm going to make you a millionaire.
There you go. Love it.
Get a hold of me. Okay, y'all. Hey, so thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week, Sarah. Thanks for coming by.
Bye.
Soul Decodes, a featured presentation, airs every Friday on the Earth Angel Media Network. This episode of Soul Decodes is sponsored and produced by Live Pure. Optimize your life by taking your health to the next level. Listen now to learn how Live Pure will make your world better.
Live Pure is an American-based distribution system of online portals that give discounted access to clean, potent, natural, and ethically sourced healthy solutions for fat loss, muscle gain, clean skin care, immune system support, whole body cleanse, physiological balance, and performance support for athletes of all ages. Live Pure handpicks the best products and nutrients from world-class companies, always adding to their quickly growing wellness lineup that now includes Korean skincare, no-injection weight loss alternatives, medical-grade nutraceuticals listed in the physician's desk reference, and healthy coffee that rivals the world's best, but for only about $1 per cup. Soul Decodes listeners looking for youth, beauty, and better health can get wholesale pricing by visiting livepure.com /gateway and signing up for free as a preferred customer. Content creators, influencers, and virtual entrepreneurs looking for passive cash flows from emerging markets can profit from Live Pure's state-of-the-industry affiliate program, which provides up to 7 different payment vectors. Content creators aligned with Live Pure and Earth Angel Media will enjoy massive co-marketing benefits, including a personally branded website. Sign up as an affiliate brand partner at livepure.biz /gateway, or drop us a note at earthangelproject.com. Check out the show notes for more details.